When I say Australia's sporting culture brings Australia together as a nation, there's not much doubt that comes to the mind of any Australian that hears this. A nation is, from the Oxford Dictionary, described as a large body of people united by common descent, history, culture, or language, inhabiting a particular country or territory. Sport is a fundamental part of Australia as a nation and a large part of Australian culture, with many Australians often making heroes out of famous sportsmen and women in their desired fields. This is my mum, Kelly, born and raised here in Australia, and from the age of 5, she was already immersed in the Australian culture of sport, being involved in netball and gymnastics. At age 10, she tried out for her local softball team, which is what truly sparked her love for sport. To this day, my mum has passed her love and passion of sport around not only to my brother and I, but also to all those around her, as we generally host such events as the State of Origin and Grand Final at our house. Whether competitive or recreational, sport has always brought us together. Australia as a nation has come together to support, recognise and accept women in sport so much more today compared to the olden days. Even when interviewing my mum, she recognised and stated that sport culture these days is getting better with women being acknowledged more in their respective sports, and more men's sports are accepting women's teams like AFL and rugby league, which would never have happened even 20 years ago now. Francis Mayo of BBC News wrote on the 24th of June this year, "It has been described by many as the greatest day in Australian women's sporting history. This marked the day that Sally Fitzgibbons became the world's #1 ranked surfer, followed by Ashley Barty, who became Australia's first world #1 after winning her 3rd tournament of the year in the French Open tennis. Golfer Hannah Green then ranked 114th in the world, making her the 3rd Australian woman to win a golf major. And lastly, the Australian Women 8 crew won gold in the Rowing World Cup, all within the one day, which had the nation feeling joyous and accomplished as our own teammates were making such high achievements for our country." When asked, "Do you feel like you've contributed or played part to how accepting Australia is of women in sport today?" my mum replied, "In my time, we were just out having fun, playing a sport we loved. I'm not sure if I played a part in females being accepted more readily in sport today, but I do know the amount of girls wanting to play more team sports during my time definitely rose." I believe although Mum doesn't feel she was able to make a big impact, her being able to play championship levels for something she loved is enough to have an impact on others with the same dreams, like she has done for myself and my brother, always pushing us to do our absolute best.